Okay, good deal. Good deal. So this is where I left off last time, and something like that, you should have that. Now, remember, I only have Etho up because I'm recording this on my Slackware machine. Okay, so but on my other machine, when I'm in it, in the machine actually running, I don't have Etho up. Okay, I only have a low up, and I didn't even know I had a low up until I did if stat. Okay. Okay. Because remember, we don't have ifconfig, we don't have any of that stuff. We gotta go get all that stuff like that. Alright? So, now that we determined it was a problem with the kernel, problem with the drivers, okay, and we can say cat etc udev rules 70 persistent. These are the drivers that the I think it might have been modperb that we ran, but nonetheless, these are the drivers that the system found, okay, and made these default rules for us. So that's a plus. If you have another machine, watch it as it boots, okay, and see what drivers it's picking up. And it might be kind of hard to do on a lot of machines because some machines don't really boot in verbose. I have mine set to do that. Okay, so watch and see what type of drivers boot, and if you know what drivers there are for your machine, that's a good thing too. Maybe even if you're using a machine that's working, okay, with a little bit more tools and everything else like that, maybe you can go ahead and say modperb over there and figure out what drivers you need. Okay. And those drivers are going to stay the same pretty much throughout the system, so that's okay. You could also go into proc and find some in there, but I really don't know how to do that, or I tried that, but read the book. There's a lot of help in the book about that. So I know what drivers I need. Okay, I need a Realtek 8169 and a ATHK or Atheros 9K. Okay, now you can also say cat your boot config file, okay, and you can say grep for, use the I switch in case it's top or lowercase, grep for ATHK. You see there's nothing there, or ATH9K I think it was. Yeah, okay. So now we look for our Ethernet driver, or our YLNO driver, okay, and you can see here config ATH cards is not set. Config net vendor Atheros, yes, but those are not set. Can I say ATH9? Nothing on 9. I don't want to say AT. Let's check for our Realtek driver, which would be 80. We'll grep for 81. Okay, and you can see right here off the bat, config R8169 is not set. Okay, and 8169 I think mine was 8169. Yeah. Okay, so I know that the driver for my Ethernet card is not here. Okay, and I didn't pick up anything for my Atheros card, or my YLNO card. Alright, so that's the problem. So let's go to where we have some sources, and I'm just going to do something real quick and see if I got this here. Temp. Okay, let's make a directory inside of here. We're going to say make directory. We're going to extract our kernel. We're going to recompile our kernel. So we say make directory. We'll call it temp. Okay, cd into temp. This way we can get away from everything else that's in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. Okay, and we can say tar xvf tar xvf Linux, or actually backup Linux. Okay, we're going to re-extract or extract our kernel. add that go and mod. Plus mod. I know I do one mod probe. Realtek 8169. I don't know if that'll pop up. That's not gonna pop up. How about ATH Atheros 9K? Alright. I don't think I'm running mod probe the way I should be either. But you should get something like that. But that's not happening on Slackware. That's okay. That's okay for right now. Just about to take care of that. So you say CD into Linux, okay? And I'm sorry, it's not happening on Slackware. It's not happening on our LFS machine. CD into Linux, and right off the bat, you'd want to say make MR proper. Okay. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess anything up on my host machine here. I'm not mounted as far as devices go, but I don't like some of the results I'm getting on some of the commands I'm issuing. So I'm not going to do make MR proper. New child process, okay. And now you can say make menu config. Okay. Now you could do the chrooted. I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure you got to bind dev and all that stuff like that, but I could just simulate it on this one over here, and you guys can get the idea. And it's not really that hard after you get the idea of what's going on and what you need. It's not really that hard at all. There's only an effort. Okay, so that's that. And it turns out that the problem is kernel config. Problem is in your device drivers. Okay? And you look in here, and network device support. Okay? And this is where I think you want to start. Wireless LAN. Yeah, this is it. Okay? So you want to be in you want to be in your device driver section. Let's go back to the beginning. Here's your general, this is your setup and everything. This is what you're greeted with. You want to go into your device. Sorry guys, that was backwards. And you want to look down for network device support. Is this it? That's actually one of them. Okay, network device support. You got Ethernet driver support, okay, which is new, right? And find your driver in here for your Ethernet, okay? Now, if you guys remember, my Ethernet driver was a R8190 or R8169 Realtek, okay? So that's what you want to do. And at the same time, though, this might be a little bit, shooting or spraying the breeze, but I also enabled anything I saw Aetherverse, I just shot it, okay? So anything I saw Aetherverse, I enabled it into the kernel. And when I did it, I didn't put anything as modules, I put everything as built-ins. Now, that's on the fence about that, but the worst case scenario, what would happen to me if I actually put everything built in as a built-in instead of a module, it would just take a little longer to boot up, and it doesn't take that long at all. Okay, I don't notice the speed. Okay, so I'm okay with that. Modules get called up as they're needed, so you might want to read up on the module things. I need to read up on my modules, okay? But some devices can be built as modules, some can't be built as modules, okay? But I throw them all in, that way I'm sure that they'll be there. And even though internet devices really aren't that, you can call them up whenever, you know what I mean? But I'd rather them be built in so that they'll be there. Even if it does make the kernel a little heavier, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it at all, especially not with this system. Something with Slackware, huge kernel, maybe, but not with this type of system. Okay? So I went ahead and I ticked out all these Aetherverse that I have here. Okay? But remember, this is still our Ethernet card. We're not even around, well, I'm not around where I need to be for my Ethernet card. Alright, but I ticked off all the Aetherverse. If you have a Broadcom, you might want to come in here and check that out, because I don't think this was, it had it like a generic driver, but it didn't, I don't think it had like the vital, you might run into that issue, so check that off. Some other drivers in here, Fujitsu, Intel drivers, stuff like that. Okay. And we got, here's my Realtek devices here. Okay. See, it said I had a Realtek device enabled, yes, but here's this. That just didn't work. It didn't work. So I went ahead and I checked off all the Realteks that I could find. I checked them off and I ran them. And remember too, when you hit them, some of them might expand. Okay. When you enable them, some of them may drop down and become and open up, and you'll have more. I think this is one of them. Okay. A lot of them will just unfold, and you'll have like 7 or 8 of them to go ahead and click on or off. But what else did I have? Realtek. Here's the new one here. Realtek 8169 gigabit Ethernet support. I selected that. Okay. Anything I could that had Realtek in it, I chose it. Okay. And this is all under the Ethernet driver support. Okay. So now, I think that my Etho is okay. That's as best as I can get here. Okay, 3Com, if you have a 3Com driver. Okay, I think my Etho is okay, so I'm going to back up. Now I'm going to go take care of my wireless. What is this? This is something else. There's nothing in it anyway. I'm going to take care of my wireless device now, okay? If you have WiMAX, enable WiMAX. Alright? But I'm going to take care of my wireless devices. So, in my wireless devices, Atmel. Okay, I'm going to look back here, and in my wireless devices I have Realtek drivers too. Like I said, I might not have had to done this. I don't have a Realtek wireless card, right? But I selected these anyway, okay? And let's say that's all I got for Realtek. Now here's my actual one, which is Atheros, okay? And I'm going to send that in hard, and I'm going to push enter, and you see here there's a whole ton of stuff back here, okay? And all this stuff was never checked. Some of this stuff might not have been vital, okay? But as you can see there, that one just unfolded, and now there's a whole bunch more stuff. And actually, when it unfolded and there's a whole bunch more stuff, these are actually the drivers that I need, okay? I need all these drivers back here. So make sure when you're clicking stuff to look really deep. And see, there's another one that just unfolded, okay? HTC debugging, who cares, I'll put it in anyway. Since this is all under the Atheros driver wireless cards, I'm picking everything. Because the kernel can be a little confusing sometimes, but I'd rather have it, as long as it doesn't clash with anything, I'm putting it in. Okay, Athos 61K, I don't even have that. I don't have that, and I don't have that. Okay, but that's what you can do here. Now if you go down some more, you'll see more Realtek drivers popping up down here. 8192, I got a 8196, I think it is. Yeah, 8169, okay. And I throw in all these drivers here. Like I said, this probably isn't the best way, but this will get your machine up and going. And when you're up and going, you can figure out more about your machine. You can always recompile another kernel. You know, just get your machine, or at least your wireless up soon. Your Ethernet wireless up so you can move and groove. So that's what I did there. Now the rest of it back here really isn't too much else. I don't see anything else. I got stupid stuff like touchscreens. I know I'm never going to use that, but you know, default it's into the kernel. Joystick interfaces. Game pads, tablets. I'm never going to use any of that stuff. Character devices. NVRAM. You know, so these are all your device drivers that you need, or you can choose from. Right? And the 3.8 kernel is a massive kernel, so you know, you not having a driver is kind of slim to none. You just have to find it, or anything that looks like it. You know, console display driver. Yeah, frame buffer support. I already have frame buffer support. Frame buffer console. But you know, that's what you can do to look through and everything else like that. All right. So now when you have gotten your all your drivers that you need. Okay. After you get all your drivers down, you say exit. You can back all the way out. And normally you would say yes. I'm going to say no because I was just doing that. And I'm going to do this offline. But like I said, I've done it like 3 times now, and all back to back. I got the method down, and it's good. You say make and make install, make and make modules _ install. Okay, and that should compile you in. Now, if you're using Grub, okay, if you're using Grub, remember, jump back in wherever your Grub's at, update Grub, okay, and you're going to get another device, okay, or you're going to get another menu entry, okay, and that's just your new kernel device, okay, so, or your new your new kernel, basically. Alright, so I'm gonna do this offline, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, and I'll show you some quirks about moving stuff around and all that other stuff like that. So, oof. How many minutes am I? What? Oh, 22 minutes. I was about to say, no, I'm not 10 minutes. Alright, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.